Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us a little bit early as we begin our media availability with head coach Geoff Collins this morning. We'll go ahead and open it right up for question and answer for Coach Collins. So if you have a question, please raise your hand using the raise hand function within Zoom. We'll call on people individually, beginning with Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
It's been an unprecedented season, Geoff, as you like to say, and you now coming off of what will end up being a 28-day break. Kind of, how do you handle that as a coach, just to get your team ready? And I imagine you're kind of curious to see what the team looks like when they finally play again.
Yeah, I mean, it's been unexpected, and we've just had to adjust and sudden change mentality. The guys have handled it well, but it's just just trying to stay one day at a time, make sure everybody in the organization is actively engaged, stay in tune with the process, keep getting better, keep getting healthy, getting guys back has been big for us, and just trying to be creative and engaging and keeping the team stronger, helping them get better, and then also making sure they're active and having some fun and bonding during this time too.
Next question comes from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Rod.
Geoff. Hey, Geoff, during this time down, are there any positives that you can take away from the downtime and maybe doing some things you ordinarily wouldn't have been able to do?
Yeah, I mean, we just went back, it's basically like another training camp, one that you're not expecting, you're not anticipating, but just trying to make sure we get some guys stronger, get some guys back healthy, those kind of things. So, and then some of the things that we've done to, create some more bonds that maybe you wouldn't get normally throughout the course of the season, doing some creative things, some fun things, those kind of things, Rod.
Question from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Geoff.
Hey, Rod. Ken.
Broadly, how are you from a health perspective?
We feel good. I mean, there's still a couple of positions, just the nature of a long season, with the extended preseason that we had, and now we've had it on another, 4 extra weeks to it. Just, we're trying to get, every position to be as healthy and as strong as possible. But there's still 2 that are still trying to recover, at certain spots. But really proud of some guys that have stepped up, gotten some experience along the way. And, I'm glad, Ken, you've got some caffeine in you, and we don't have any yawning incidents today. I appreciate that, Ken. You got it, buddy. Anything for you, Ken.
Next question comes from Daniel Shirley from The Athletic.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Geoff. Well, I just woke up, so I don't know if I'm catching up or not. But I wanted to ask you about the freshmen. I know we've talked a lot about Jeff Sims, but what about Jahmyr Gibbs and what he's brought to this team, and then just kind of the freshman group as a whole?
Yeah, just really proud of them, the way they've come in, as Kelly likes to say, under unprecedented circumstances, and have bought into our culture. They've known what the culture was coming into it. They live it, they breathe it, and there's some really good players, some really talented guys. I think we played 16 true freshmen in the last game that we played against what is now the number 2 team in the country, and they competed, they battled. 3 of our true freshmen have started most of the year. Jordan Williams at right tackle, which is not an easy thing to do as a true freshman. Jahmyr, Jeff, obviously, Kyle Kennard, Jared Ivey playing significant reps along the defensive line, and there's others that I could mention. We've started getting a lot more reps on special teams. At first, a little bit out of necessity, but then they've just solidified their positions by how well that they've played. And, it's a strong group. I go back to the evaluation process that Patrick Suddes and our recruiting staff and all of our assistant coaches go through to select the guys that join our organization, and they're built the right way. I think Bleacher Report re-ranked them as one of the top 10 recruiting classes in the country. And, just excited about who they are, how they've developed. And that's even without a true off-season with Lou Corrala and our amazing strength staff. So obviously finish out the season strong as an entire team, and then just excited to see how we build upon this group and, put another class, together, and then another really good class together. It's going to be exciting.
Next question comes from Bailey Johnson from the AJC.
Hey, Bailey.
Hey, Geoff, you mentioned doing some creative things, getting some more bonding experiences going.
Yep.
Just what are some of those things y'all have been doing?
Well, one of the biggest pieces, we got some even greater developmental lifting times that we normally wouldn't have during the season. We took full advantage of those. And then at the end of, I think, most of the days were about an hour and 15, hour and 30 of lift, stretch, run kind of deal. I think we played kickball one day, dodgeball one day. Saturday we had a 2-hour practice in Bobby Dodd Stadium, and had a home run derby trying to get it into the upper deck of the west side stands. There was a couple of guys that were pretty close, but just things like that, and a big barbecue, socially distanced, outdoors on Saturday as well. So just some things to you just got to kind of try to find ways to be creative, and
Next question comes from Allison Mastrangelo from WSB TV.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, Coach. We keep talking about how it's been such an unprecedented time for, players and teams across the league. And for you guys, especially with that kind of 28-day break, what have you learned about yourself as a coach and just being able to adapt in such a unique time and making sure that your guys are ready this Saturday?
Yeah, I think one of the benefits of having such a young, energetic, engaging staff is the relationships that they build with the players, how we're able to sense the mood, sense the tone in real time, being very innovative and thinking outside the box, not being held down by rigid structures that you have to do X, Y, and Z in this manner. An old school approach. I've got some guys on the staff that I trust, they trust that they can come to me with certain things that we can do better as an organization, creative things that we probably should be doing in sudden change situations like we've been under in the last 3 weeks. But I just think it's the relationship piece, the thinking outside the box piece. Those are two huge things that we've relied upon through this entire transition, but obviously during these last 3 to 4 weeks especially.
Another question from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Do you feel like this break will allow you to play some more kids, some of the freshmen that maybe haven't seen the field yet, get them into the rotation, especially given the fact you don't know how many games you might play going forward here?
Yeah, I mean we've played a lot of them, man. So we continue to develop, continue to build depth. We're not shy about putting guys that have earned the right to play on the field. So we'll continue with our process as it is.
Another question from Ken Segura from the AJC.
I'm curious. Hey, after Duke's game got canceled last week, did you give any thought or look into the possibility of playing them this past Saturday?
I'm not sure when that announcement happened, so I'm not. I think it happened on Tuesday or Wednesday of the week, so I didn't get into that, Ken. I was just worried about what I can do on that day to help our team get ready in the current situation we were in.
Another question from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Geoff, when you talk about injuries, I guess the defensive line is one place where you look at first. Have the young guys on the defensive line taken advantage of their opportunity to play now, in place of those injured guys?
Yeah, and I think that we were hit very early, even before the season started, especially at the defensive tackle position, and as the season went on at the defensive end position, and just the depth that's been created. Some of the guys have been forced into action long before maybe they were expecting to or we were expecting to, but just proud of the way they've handled it and, contributed, to us playing and continuing to get better. Obviously, the experience helps at that position. We lost it early, but I've been really proud of just the leadership, being able to bring a bunch of the young guys along, especially along the front.
Another question from Allison Mastrangelo.
I know you talked about it a little bit last week, but how different is this Thanksgiving celebration going to be with the guys, and what do you kind of have planned for the team this year?
Yeah, so what my wife does, and she's done the last 3 years, we have a huge Thanksgiving celebration on Wednesday night, and we usually get a huge ballroom, and it's just an unbelievable party. All of our families are there, all of our kids, all the team, support staff, and it's a great celebration. Obviously, we can't do that in that manner this year, but what we are going to do is, just like we do Friday nights for home game meals, we're going to go into the Wardlaw, which is in the south end zone of the stadium. Nice banquet room. We have plexis everywhere. And the way we do it on Friday nights is by position, so we can keep our distance, keep the plexis in front of us. So we're going to have Wednesday night meal, Thanksgiving dinner by position like we would do Friday nights of home games. We'll be there, my wife and I. Our daughter will be there with masks. All the coaches' wives are having a special dish for that group, along with the spread that Scott Wallace is putting together. We got a legit playlist. She just builds on that playlist every year, and so that'll be rolling. And in these times, it's something that we can bond, those kind of deals, but still be safe and still follow the protocols and mitigation strategies while celebrating and being thankful for everything that we have and the people that we get to do it with every day. And with that, happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys as well.
So what's what's your favorite
For
dish?
those who,
What's the spread? What's the number one thing for Coach Collins on Thanksgiving?
I'll go. Obviously, it's the turkey, mashed potatoes. I think the big debate is sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie. I didn't know there was a difference in those two. I thought it was the same. As long as you have enough whipped cream, I think it's delicious either way.
we've got one more from Kelly Quinn, and then also a note for anybody who jumped on at 11. We did start a few minutes early, so if you have any questions, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. Any questions for Coach Collins? So Kelly, go ahead.
Coach, I was just curious, kind of, what have you learned just about your team in this weird season, and kind of about coaching that you can kind of use going forward?
There's so much, the bonding piece, the layers of relationships that you have to have, and strong foundations of the culture that's ingrained or is still being formed with certain guys is huge. I look back on Sunday, Nathan Cottrell had his first NFL tackle. And after practice on Sunday, just the vibe and the positivity, how excited everybody was from Nathan Cottrell getting an NFL tackle as a gunner, and just thinking back on everything that we preach, what we talk about, the process, working the process, and Nathan Cottrell is the embodiment of that, and just so proud of him, and just the way we're continuing to develop that every single day is the challenge, and you got to fight for it. You got to build it every single day and continue to elevate within position groups, within individuals, within the entire organization. And obviously, just the progress is not just a linear line that's going to go like this. There's going to be some ups and downs, and just trying to navigate that and make sure we have an organization that is culturally aligned with what we believe in, how we operate, the success that we're going to have by doing the right things, not taking shortcuts, all of those things. It's a painstaking process, but in the end, it's worth it. And I'm just proud of the guys that are sticking to it, continue to elevate, continue to build every single day.
I have another one from Ken Segura from the AJC.
Again.
Hey, I want to follow up on something that Allison asked. Bailey wrote a story last week talking to some parents about Thanksgiving plans and so forth. And one of them, I was interested to learn that, the mom said her son, Tyson, was just going to stay, I think on campus. And I'm curious if you're aware of other kids that, just out of, an abundance of safety are going to just forego being with their families on things.
Yeah, so we know where every single person in our organization is going. So we've got a spreadsheet, exactly where they're going, exactly how far it is mileage-wise, exactly who's going to be at the festivity. I had a Zoom call with all the parents in the organization on Friday. Mark Smith, our head athletic trainer, went through all the proper mitigation policies, what we would advise, what the CDC advises, to have a safe and festive Thanksgiving and keep everybody as healthy and safe as possible. So we went through all of those with the parents. We opened it up for questions. We found out where every single one of our players is going to spend Thanksgiving. We're going to have practice Thursday morning. We will have a lunch before they head out. We will have a dinner Thursday night for the guys that do stay in town. And we'll start our Friday process the next day. But yeah, Ken, every single player, we know exactly where they're going to be, how they're getting there, who they're going to be with, and all those kind of things, and have advised all parties the best practices available through our medical staff.